That way I can get through some of the main topics and catch you guys up on some of the strange things that have been happening. First, in today's news, the image that you saw in the thumbnail and what you are seeing here. How many of you know what this is? Or maybe you can guess what this is. And as you're looking at this animation looping over, you can probably deduce that we're looking at something here under a microscope, and you'd be right. You can see these couple of green glowing objects, and one of the objects, you can see what appears to be like an arm or a whip coming out of it, lassoing up and pulling back in one of these small red objects. And well, if you haven't guessed what this is yet, what you are seeing is a new piece of microscopic footage showing bacteria, single-celled bacteria, actually reaching out, something similar to what you could say was a harpoon or an arm, snatching up a piece of DNA, which is what you're seeing in the red here, and swallowing it. And this is a first-of-its-kind recording. And so this astonishing new video showing this bacterium reaching out into space, snatching a piece of DNA, is for the first time ever showing how microbes evolve. And it's the first observation of bacteria using appendages called pili to quote-unquote harpoon loose pieces of DNA and then incorporating it back into the bacteria's own genetic structure. And this little recording here shows how single-celled organisms pull off a neat little trick called horizontal gene transfer that allows them the ability to adapt quickly to new environments. And so to put that in layman's terms, say you are a person who has allergies. I have allergies in the summer. You have pollen floating around making you sneeze. So what do? You reach out and you grab a piece of flesh or DNA from a friend of yours who doesn't have allergies. And you take that piece from his body, you stuff it in your mouth, you eat it, and then suddenly you are now impervious to the pollen around you and you no longer have allergies. And that is exactly what is happening here, with this bacteria snatching a piece of stray DNA in order to grow and evolve. And so in this new experiment, they took this dye, this green dye, that caused this bacterium to glow under the microscope, and they used this other dye to make the DNA, just stray pieces of DNA that you're seeing as these small little red spots, and they sat it in a petri dish next to the bacteria. They added the DNA, and they were amazed to see this arm-like appendage begin snatching up these DNA pieces, pulling it back and devouring it, making the DNA a part of the bacterium. And it goes to show that even at a micro level, looking at these bacteria, they are doing things that much larger organisms are doing. And these are single-celled bacterium. And it's amazing for a single-celled organism to do. So tell me what you